Scorpio, you are standing at the edge of something rare, powerful, and divinely timed. From October 20th to 25th, 2025, the gates of double luck are opening for you. This is not just about fortune, it's about alignment. It's about miracles unfolding in perfect harmony with your destiny. You didn't find this video by accident. You were guided here. Whether by a whisper in your heart, a longing in your spirit, or a prayer sent out in silence, something higher brought you here because you're ready. Ready for breakthrough. Ready for divine timing. Ready to receive what has been delayed but never denied. Scorpio, beloved one of deep waters and sacred transformation, this week marks a rare convergence in the heavens. Jupiter is trining Venus, expanding the field of financial opportunity, love, and spiritual favor. Saturn, the planet of divine order and structure, is harmonizing with your sign, anchoring everything you receive into long-term sustainability. This is what I call the sacred balance of abundance, the flow of blessings with the wisdom to hold it all. If you felt like you've been sowing in silence, waiting, watching others harvest while your hands remained empty, this is your signal. The energy of this week is here to remind you, you haven't been forgotten. You've been being prepared. And now, the confirmation arrives not only through the stars, but also through the cards. The star shines with gentle healing, declaring that your past pain is no longer your prison. The wheel of fortune turns in your favor, moving what was once out of reach right into your hands. And the Ace of Pentacles offers you something very real, a key, a door, a tangible opportunity that leads directly to wealth, peace, and stability. But here's the truth, this door won't remain open forever. Double luck is a rare stream of cosmic energy. It passes quickly and flows only for those who are awake enough to respond. And Scorpio, you were born with one of the most powerful intuitive radars in the zodiac. This is your moment to act, not just dream. To move, not just hope. Between October 20th and 25th, you may receive unexpected financial offers, overdue blessings, legal or karmic victories, or even be visited by someone whose presence shifts your entire path. Watch for signs. Listen to nudges. Respond quickly and with faith. And while all of this may sound unbelievable, I invite you to test it. Not by logic but by alignment. By beginning each day this week with 5 minutes of stillness. Read one verse. Speak one prayer. Let your spirit say, I am open. The kingdom does not shout. It whispers. And when you are still, you will hear it say, you are the one I choose to bless. If this message is already resonating in your spirit, comment 888 below to anchor your readiness. Or write, I claim my divine double luck, if you feel the shift already beginning. And before we go deeper, let me take a moment to thank you. For your time. For your presence. For every like, comment, and subscription that brings you closer to this family here at Miracle of the Sign. Your support is what allows this channel to grow and share these life-changing messages with those who need them most. You are not just a viewer. You are a part of this awakening. So stay with me, Scorpio. Because what the universe is about to reveal next is not only extraordinary. It's sacred. Now tell me, what force has drawn you here today? And are you ready to step through the divine door waiting just ahead? Scorpio, if you've made it here, then you've already felt the subtle shift, the energy rising beneath the surface, the invisible current pulling you towards something greater. This isn't just a wave of hope or inspiration. It is a realignment of cosmic forces designed specifically for you. In astrology, when Jupiter trines Venus, the heavens create a sacred dialogue between expansion and attraction. Jupiter opens the gates of possibility, and Venus magnetizes what you desire toward you with gentle, radiant ease. The result is more than Luke Kid is grace flowing in real time. This is why we speak of double luck, because the universe is not simply offering you a door, it is also handing you the key and guiding you through. But there's another layer that makes this even more profound. Saturn, the planet of time, karma, and long-term structure, is forming a harmonious aspect with your Scorpio essence. This isn't fleeting luck. It's anchored prosperity. This is the kind of energy that helps you not only receive, but also sustain and grow what's given. While Jupiter and Venus bring the rain, Saturn prepares the soil, ensuring the blessings don't wash away but take root where your soul needs them most. Think of it like a garden that's been barren for too long, and no finalized rains are coming, and the earth has been quietly readied by time, by hardship, by divine timing. And in that sacred garden, 3 powerful tarot archetypes rise like signs from the soil: the Star, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ace of Pentacles. The Star appears after the Toera card of Chaos, and it reminds you that healing is not just possible, it is promised. Your wounds do not define you, they have refined you. The wheel turns now because the cycle has shifted. Karmic tides are flowing in your favor, not as compensation for your pain, but as confirmation that nothing you've endured was wasted. The Ace of Pentacles places a seed in your hands, an offering of tangible wealth, opportunity, and new beginnings, but it is up to you to plant it, to protect it, to believe it is yours. Double luck is not random. It is the merging of grace and growth, receiving and responding, vision and action. It is the balance between heaven and earth, the place where longing meets readiness. And you, Scorpio, have been preparing, even when you didn't know it. The nights you stayed hopeful while no one else believed. The times you picked yourself up when you had no idea why you should. Those moments weren't empty. They were evidence that your spirit was sowing in faith, and now, the harvest has begun. This moment asks you to remember the times you walked away from opportunity, not because you weren't capable, but because doubt whispered louder than desire. Maybe you hesitated. Maybe you listened to fear. But not this time. The convergence of energy this week is rare. It's not simply a chance. It's your second chance, only now, it's doubled. It's the same open door you once ignored, now standing before you again, wider, brighter, and backed by the full force of divine alignment. I want you to breathe that in. Not just hear it, but receive it. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to prove your worth. You are worthy because you're here. Because you've made it this far. Because there's still something in you that believes in more. Let that be enough, for now. And when the opportunities arrive, and they will, may you move with the quiet knowing that this time, you are ready. This time, you're not just hoping. You're claiming. This time, the river will not pass you by. This time, you will rise with it. Scorpio, when divine timing begins to move in your life, it often whispers first before it roars. It doesn't always arrive with fireworks or obvious signs. It speaks softly through real, lived moments that seem small at first, but carry the weight of deep transformation. These are the signs you must learn to recognize, and this week, from October 20th to 25th, the universe is painting them right in front of you. Not with mystical symbols, but with experiences that intersect your everyday world. The energy of double luck does not just appear, it reveals itself in the echoes of your daily interactions, in the way life begins to tilt slightly in your favor after a long stretch of silence. But you must be awake enough to see it. Maybe it starts when someone from your past returns unexpectedly, not to revisit old wounds, but to restore a balance. Perhaps a client, a partner, someone who once overlooked your value suddenly reappears with gratitude and a financial offering, acknowledging something they couldn't see before. This isn't just about money. It's a message from the universe. What you gave has returned, with interest. You planted seeds that didn't grow on schedule, but they're blooming now, in their own time. Or maybe it comes through the voice of a friend, casually offering an idea, a suggestion, even just a sentence that lingers longer than expected. You hear it once and think, that's interesting. But the more you sit with it, the more it unravels into something larger, a new investment, a shift in career direction, a door you didn't even know existed. And suddenly, what felt like a random comment becomes a roadmap. That is double luck, to fortune arriving through intuition sparked by conversation. Some of you may even receive formal news this week: an old case gets resolved, a legal delay breaks open, or a document arrives confirming something in your favor. This might involve an inheritance, a settlement, or an award you almost forgot was pending. And while it may look like coincidence, I invite you to consider this. What if the delay wasn't punishment, but preparation? What if it took this long not because the universe was ignoring you, but because now is when you're ready to hold what's coming? And then there are the moments that defy explanation. A stranger's smile at just the right time. A message that appears on a billboard, or a song lyric that lands in your soul like it was written just for you. Someone enters your life this week, seemingly by chance, but they shift your perspective instantly. They don't stay long, but they leave something behind: clarity, motivation, or a mirror you desperately needed. These angels in disguise are more real than you think. The universe often hides answers in the plainest places, and this week, it is using people to deliver them. But perhaps the most powerful sign of all is the one that comes from within you. A sudden knowing. A quiet confidence. A shift in your internal weather. You wake up and feel something is coming. You can't explain it, but you feel it in your bones. Your dreams are more vivid. Your focus sharper. Your distractions fall away because something in your spirit whispers, "Get ready." That's not imagination. That's intuition aligning with divine energy. And if you're feeling this now, it means you've already stepped onto the frequency of change. So pause, breathe, and ask yourself, have any of these signs appeared in your life recently? Has the familiar returned bearing gifts? Has a small voice offered a big idea? Has your soul started waking up before your mind even catches up? If so, comment below and let it be known. Say yes to your alignment. Speak it out loud, because your willingness to acknowledge these signs anchors the energy even deeper. The double luck that's unfolding now is not for someone else. It's for you. But only if you are present enough to see the signs, wise enough to honor them, and brave enough to respond. Your turning point doesn't come wrapped in gold. It comes wrapped in awareness. And awareness starts with noticing the moments that try to get your attention before the miracle even begins. When double luck enters your energetic field, Scorpio, It doesn't just knock, it waits silently to see if you're truly prepared to open the door. And preparation, in this case, is not about doing more. It's about being aligned. You are not being asked to chase. You're being invited to receive, but receiving is an active state, one that requires your presence, your awareness, and your willingness to hold space for transformation to arrive in unexpected, yet perfectly orchestrated, ways. This week is not about luck in the shallow sense. It's about recalibrating your daily rhythm to match the frequency of what you've been asking for. And that begins not with outer movement, but with inner harmony. Every morning, begin with 5 minutes of intentional stillness. Not just to calm your mind, but to realign your heart with what matters. In those minutes, breathe with your eyes closed and place your hand over your chest, not to ask for anything, but to listen. When you do this consistently, you attune your nervous system to receive guidance without chaos, and you begin to recognize subtle opportunities that the scattered mind would miss. If you feel called, write down 3 things you're grateful for, even if they're small. This trains your energy to expect more, not from entitlement, but from grounded worthiness. This is how we start to build the vessel that can hold abundance without fear of losing it. Midday, bring your awareness back to the body. Nourish it, gently. Drink warm water to keep energy flowing. A B vitamin or omega boost might help you think clearly and keep your emotional energy stable, because when wealth knocks, anxiety can rise. Doubt can whisper. Your body must become your ally, not your saboteur. If you feel overwhelmed, take a 5-minute walk or stretch with intention. This is how we clear stagnant energy and invite in new flow. When you move the body, you move the energy. Evening is for reflection, not correction. Look back at your day without judgment. Ask yourself, what felt aligned? What surprised me? What did I dismiss too quickly? Write down one moment that made you smile, or one signal that felt like a wink from the universe. Doing this rewires your focus toward noticing the good, and the good expands where attention flows. Even if nothing dramatic happens, by writing these down, you're building spiritual muscle memory, showing the universe that you are present, anchored, and responsive. Remember this: if good fortune is a river, then action is the boat, and faith is the oar. The river will carry you, but only if you're willing to meet it halfway. And you can't steer a boat that's still tied to the dock of fear. You must untie. You must move. But not frantically, deliberately. Luck responds to those who are both still and willing to act. Too much hesitation, and the tide moves on. Too much force, and you capsize the current. This week is about sacred pacing. Listen closely. Then respond. If you want to deepen this alignment, wear something golden this week, something that reminds your subconscious mind of your worth. Gold is not just color. It's a frequency of value, of earned brilliance. And you, Scorpio, are being asked to embody what you once only dreamed of attracting. Numerologically, this week is vibrating with the energy of the number 8, regeneration, wealth, balance between giving and receiving, death and rebirth. Let that guide your choices. Say yes to opportunities that feel expansive and no to those that are only familiar. Sometimes, comfort is the enemy of elevation. If you need an anchor, take a moment today to write down one bold financial goal for the next 3 months. Just one. Then spend at least 1 hour this week learning something that will bring you closer to that goal. Not in theory, but in action. Maybe it's a new platform, a new tool, a new connection. When you invest your time into preparing for what you've asked for, the universe responds with precision. This is the language of co-creation. And through it all, keep returning to yourself. You are not waiting for a miracle to arrive. You are preparing to meet it. As the energy of double luck continues to unfold through your days, Scorpio, it's important to remember that abundance is not just something you receive, it's something you're called to steward. Luck that arrives without intention quickly becomes scattered. But when you meet prosperity with clarity, structure, and purpose, you transform fleeting opportunity into lasting expansion. This week brings more than possibility. It brings responsibility, the kind that invites you to mature into the version of yourself that can hold what you once prayed for. The foundation of your financial life and career is no longer a background concern. It is the very ground upon which the rest of your blessings will stand. That is why this moment demands both wisdom and vision. It's tempting, when you feel the energy rising, to say yes to everything. To spend, to leap, to invest impulsively just because the winds are finally blowing in your favor. But true wealth flows best when it's channeled, not spilled. If you're seeing new income, new offers, or even gifts showing up, take a breath. Ask yourself not what you want in the moment, but what will serve your longer path. Prioritize resources that nourish your growth, education that expands your mind, a home that supports your peace, wellness that sustains your body. Remember, money is a magnifier. It amplifies who you already are. So bring your higher self into every financial decision you make this week. Consider creating not just one fund, but two, one for security, and one for expansion. This is how you respect both the Saturnian call for structure and the Jupiterian gift of opportunity. Your savings account is not a sign of fear, it's a sacred space where stability is stored. And your investment fund, whether in time, money, or energize your declaration that you believe in your own future. When you balance both, you walk the razor's edge between safety and courage, which is exactly where transformation takes place. In your career, movement is possible, but it requires discernment. If an offer comes this week, don't leap without looking. But also don't delay so long that the window closes. Timing is everything, and you have the tools now to recognize the difference between a detour and a destiny shift. Before making any major move, return to your why. Why do you do what you do? What makes it meaningful? Take time to write your professional mission in just 2 sentences, one that speaks to your purpose, and one that speaks to your impact. Let those words become your compass as new doors begin to open. And you don't have to walk this alone. This is a time to seek out aligned partnerships, not out of dependence, but out of sacred collaboration. Look for mentors or allies who carry the steady strength of Taurus, the radiant leadership of Leo, or the inventive vision of Aquarius. These signs, or the people who reflect their essence, may become key players in your unfolding career journey. They might challenge you, stretch you, or mirror something back to you that you've been avoiding. Pay attention. These are not casual connections. They are catalysts. Prosperity doesn't just require opportunity, it requires readiness. And sometimes, that readiness comes through humility. Through pausing. Through asking yourself not, what can I gain, but what can I handle with integrity? There is ancient wisdom in the principle that those who are faithful with little will be trusted with more. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. Are you showing up for the tasks you've already been given? Are you handling your current resources with care and clarity? If so, this week's energy will multiply what you've built, not because you hustled harder, but because you became a stronger vessel. Let this be the week where you redefine success not as what you chase, but as what you cultivate. Align your actions with your long-term values. Move deliberately. Listen deeply. And know that this season of double luck is not here to tease you. It's here to elevate you, but only if you meet it with both an open heart and a grounded plan. As this week's energetic momentum continues to build, Scorpio, you may notice something else stirring, not just in your outer world of career and finances, but within your emotional field, your heart space, and your capacity for connection. When the planets align for prosperity, they rarely do so in isolation. True abundance is holistic. And this wave of double luck is not only about receiving resources, it's also about expanding your capacity to give and receive love, to awaken to your deeper purpose, and to answer a calling that goes far beyond material gain. This is the space where love and soul intertwine. Where relationships act not as distractions but as reflections, showing you how deeply you're willing to see yourself, and how far you're ready to be seen. The doors of love opening this week may come gently. A conversation that feels oddly familiar. A chance meeting with someone whose energy mirrors your own. Or even the reappearance of someone from your past, not to repeat old cycles, but to bring closure, clarity, or even reconciliation. But whether it's new or returning, love that shows up now carries a higher vibration. It comes when you're no longer chasing it as a solution, but welcoming it as a complement to your wholeness. This is why it matters that you turn inward first. Not because solitude is the goal, but because your frequency determines what you attract. Instead of looking for someone to heal you, become the field where healing naturally happens. When your heart becomes a place of peace, groundedness, and quiet trust, love will be drawn to you not out of need, but from resonance. The law of attraction begins within. You become what you are willing to embody, and love is not summoned through longing, it arrives through alignment. There is also a deeper message rising from within you this week. A quiet but unmistakable pull towards something greater than your personal needs. You may find yourself thinking more about legacy, about the emotional impact you want to leave on others, about how your presence either uplifts or dims the room you walk into. This is the soul calling, the subtle invitation to rise into a greater version of yourself, not because you have to, but because you're ready. You're being invited not just to receive light, but to become someone who carries it. Someone whose quiet strength is the very thing others draw hope from. To support this emotional and energetic unfolding, consider doing something this week that reconnects you with your past, not to dwell, but to honor how far you've come. Write a letter to your younger self. Speak gently to that version of you who didn't yet know how strong they were. Tell them they survived, that they're not broken, and that you're proud. Or, if there's someone in your life who once caused deep pain, write them a letter too. One you don't have to send. Let the words move through you, not to them but for you. And when you're done, release it. Burn it. Bury it. Let it become the ashes of what no longer needs to be carried. Your emotional hygiene is as important as any physical or financial habit you build. Just as your body needs rest, your heart needs space. Listening to alpha wave music before bed can help ease your nervous system, restore your inner calm, and prepare you to receive dreams that may carry messages or insights. In the silence of night, the soul often speaks loudest. And even if you don't consider yourself spiritual in a traditional sense, take a moment each day to simply whisper an intention. Ask for clarity, for peace, for guidance. Not because something is wrong, but because something bigger is waking up inside you. This week, love may arrive. So may a mission. And maybe, for the first time, they'll feel like the same thing. Because when you're in alignment with your truth, you'll find that love doesn't distract you from your path, it walks alongside you, in rhythm, in reverence, in radiant trust. Scorpio, if you've made it here, then you've already accepted the invitation. This wasn't just a message about lucky numbers or passing opportunities. It was a call to remember who you are beneath all the waiting, beneath all the doubt, beneath every season that made you question if the universe had forgotten you. Double luck is not a random windfall, it is a sacred agreement. One that was written between your soul and the stars long before you could even name what you were praying for. And now, that agreement is activating, not because you wished harder, but because you endured, you healed, and you stayed open. So I ask you gently, but directly, can you look in the mirror today and say, I am worthy of this? Can you say it without shrinking, without qualifying it, without the echo of your past silencing the voice of your future? Can you receive without apologizing for needing, without over-explaining your past struggles, without bargaining with grace? You are being offered not just a blessing but a role in the unfolding of something much bigger than yourself. This isn't just about money. It's about expansion. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer waits for life to change, but who understands that alignment begins within. You've been given signs, energy, timing, and tools. Now the question is, will you act? I encourage you, not with pressure, but with love, to take this energy seriously. Not in a fearful way, but with reverence. What would shift in your life if you woke up tomorrow and treated your goals as sacred responsibilities? If you honored your emotions, your finances, your relationships as vessels for divine truth instead of burdens to fix? What if you wrote down the goal that scares you the most and said, yes, this too is possible for me? What if your biggest transformation began the moment you stopped asking, do I deserve this, and started asking, am I ready to receive it? And if something moved inside you during this video, even if you don't yet know how to explain it, I invite you to anchor that feeling. Comment 888 below if you're ready to lock in this season of double luck. Write, I claim my double luck ERA, to declare that you're no longer waiting, you're walking. Thank you, from the deepest part of me, for your time, your trust, and your presence here with Miracle of the Sign. Every comment you leave, every like you give, every share you offer is not just support, it's participation. You are part of something that is awakening across the collective. When one Scorpio rises in light, it doesn't just shift their personal path. It ripples outward. It realigns timelines. It opens doors for others. You are more powerful than you've ever been told. So please, don't let this just be another video you close and forget. Let it be the one that reminded you of your contract with destiny. Let it be the one that nudged you just enough to take the next brave step. The universe is listening. But the question is, are you ready to answer?